my name is Nathan Weisauer. I am a fourth generation farmer in LaGrande, Oregon.
I'm Darren Hansen, rancher and truck operator.
And I'm Natalie Hansen.
My background in agriculture started, my dad owned a custom harvesting outfit when I was a little kid. We did that all until I was in my early 20s. He sold his business, I went out on my own, started buying cows and land.
Well, probably because it was something that had been done in my family in America for previous 3 generations, and I am the fourth, I guess I should say, and it was just a natural fit. Like, it was what I enjoyed doing. It was what just came, easy. Like, it wasn't a tough decision.
My background in agriculture is mainly derived from 4-H. My dad was a logger growing up, so we were involved in the timber industry. And I started 4-H in 4th grade and started with showing horses and market animals, and continued on throughout high school. And here I am today.
So I started my business, our business, when in high school I bought my first 13 cows, and we've built that into almost 200 head. I bought a truck to truck my own cows and turned that into a business, which is now more of a full-time business than the cows are.
We grow sugar beets, wheat, grass seed, alfalfa, carrot seed, corn, sometimes barley for hay. Try to have a diverse crop rotation.
It's a way of life. It's not a 9-to-5 job. It involves family, a lot of family, and I just like to make goods for people.
To me, it just means, working hard and trying to produce the best crops you can, and making it sustainable and continuing on for the next generation.
If I was to tell the younger generations that wanted to start in agriculture, I would tell them that it's not easy work and that they should find somebody to teach them along the way if they're not from agriculture background. Give them some advice, and I would say do it.
I would just say, there is going to be a lot of farmers that are going to age out, and if you have a desire to work in agriculture, do some research, find farmers that maybe don't have family that want to pursue it, and try and learn on the job and see if there's a chance to eventually become the farmer in an operation. That would be my biggest piece of advice.
There's lots of highs and there's lots of lows. The market's one of them. This year, the market's high and it's a good year. A couple of years ago, the market was low and it was not good. You just hammer down and get it done and go year to year.
I'd say the highs are probably getting to work with family and teaching the next generation how to do things, seeing them spread their wings and fly, tackle things on their own. Lows would probably be just when you're disappointed in the outcomes of how much you put in and how little you might get out at times, and sometimes there's nothing you can do to control that outcome. And I would say just to get you through those moments, you just have to look forward to what comes next, and you can't really dwell on what has happened. You just have to focus on what comes next.
Typical work day for me. Depends on what we're doing. If we're doing cows, we get up, you got to gather them, get them in the corrals, work them. If I'm trucking, just depends on what the day is. I can get up at 5 o'clock and work until 10 o'clock at night, or it can be a short day. It's an everyday. It's an everyday.
That depends on the season. Usually in the busy season, springtime through fall time, usually be at work, by 7 o'clock, and check on certain times of year, check on irrigation, check in with the crew, make plans for the day. A lot of the time I still operate equipment and have tasks to accomplish. Wintertime is a little bit slower paced, do a lot more of the office work and research and buying things for next year and maintenance. But no, typically it's a lot of equipment driving and repairs and stuff like that.
The balance, work and family. Well,
There is
most
none.
of the time, most of the time the family is with me when we're working. If not, if there's games or whatever sports activities, school, we either take half the day off, part of the day off, or you end up having to miss some of it. It's tough, but a lot of it, the family's always together. Do I think Americans are aware of agriculture? Yes. And I think it's getting more and more with the Gen Zs, that they're more aware where their food comes from, and how it's managed, how it's grown, how it's harvested. I think they're really looking at us, yes.
I think they care about grocery prices. I think there is a lot of hype around a certain farm chemical called Roundup. But I think between Roundup and prices that consumers pay at a grocery store, absolutely not. I think most people are pretty disconnected from it.
So, well, personally, I feel like we are going to see more direct-to-consumer businesses cropping up, specifically because of people being more aware of their food and where it comes from, especially with the issues that happened in 2020 and not having enough food in our grocery stores. I feel that there's going to be more businesses with a direct-to-consumer option.
I think a lot more automation, a lot more like advanced robotics, AI. We're seeing kind of glimpses of that with tractors that can drive themselves, like laser weeders and spot spraying machines. And I think you're going to see a lot more of technology, I think, in the next 25 or 30 years.
Some challenges in my line of work. Mother Nature is one of them always. The public appearance of raising beef is another one. Imports, exports, prices on commodities such as hay and corn that we'd feed the cows. We're in the farming world, we're one of the commodities that we don't get to pick a price. They just tell you what they're going to pay, and that's what you get.
Sometimes things don't go the way you want them to, or at the end of the year, you don't get the outcomes that you think that you should have for the amount of work that you put in. It could be yield, it could be prices, lots of different factors in that, but that would probably be the one thing that I would say.
Just don't be afraid to jump in and do it. I am more of a cautious person, and taking lessons from Darren has really helped expand our business. I mean, some mostly good business decisions. Sometimes they maybe don't work out quite as well, but not being afraid to fail and just jump right in.
I would say probably work hard, don't cut corners. That's the biggest thing I see, is that a lot of people want to cut corners because they want to get on to the next thing, and a lot of the time you have to just enjoy what you're doing in the moment. Even if it stinks, you just embrace it and try and get through and do the best you can and move on to the next task.
Someone asked me once in an interview, what was growing up like, where'd you go to school, and what would you do if you weren't doing this? I'd be driving my first car in a worn out Dodge, trying to make rent with a dead-end job, just making do. Tips in a jar, my guitar and an old still be the same guy they knew back in the day, who was burning CDs just to give away, paying his dues. If I wasn't doing this, 5 deep in a van, head full of steam, hot on the heels of my neon dreams, maybe coming true. Living this life just like I was born to do. Cloud in the palm of my hand, couple brown, a couple buddies in a band, singing them same damn songs like I am now. I'd be feeling on fire on a hardwood stage, bright lights all around me, right through my veins, at the Grand Ole Opry or showing some holiday town. Still be doing this, I wouldn't do this. It ain't about the fame, it ain't about the fortune, it ain't about the name, it ain't about the glory. I guess I'm saying it's always been way back. Having a Friday night cloud in the palm of my hand, couple brown liquor, couple buddies in a band, singing them same damn songs like I am now. Hardwood stage, bright lights all around me, running through my veins, at the Grand Ole Opry or showing some holiday town. Still be doing this if I wasn't doing this. Someone asked me once in an interview what was growing